Page 26, I Will Survive. 4/4 time, no sharps or flats in the key signature. In this particular piece, we're actually in A minor. Remember, C major and A minor have no sharps or flats in the key signature. Here we're actually in A minor, more or less. Make sure you can do the scales for C major and A minor both. At least 1 octave, 2 octaves would be better. You're starting to get up there, and this isn't exactly beginner music. This is more of early intermediate, so you're starting to get up there. Now, for the sake of saving time, these videos are lasting forever. I'm going to try and take both hands at the same time, but remember, when I approach a piece of music, I only do it 1 hand at a time first, and then I put the hands together. So you may have to adjust accordingly. Go ahead and do it 1 hand at a time, even though in the video I'm doing both hands together. This first line is just an introduction. And it's just an arpeggio going up and down, a broken chord going up and down. And it's an E7 chord. I use a 4 on the G sharp in the left hand. They use 3. Some people use 3. And the right hand, I use 4. They use 3. I disagree with 4 there, or with 3 there. It needs to be here. So again, they have the marked left hand, right hand, left, but you can also look at the stems. So if the stems are going down here, left hand. So then the right hand does these. Then the left hand crosses over to do these. Same notes. And then the right hand, or left hand, excuse me, goes and plays the high note. And then we bounce off that and come back down. Here. In steady, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Here. Now they've got the stem going down there in measure 4. They have the stems going down. It's telling you left hand there. It's still the left hand, because in theory you could have brought the right hand down and played it. But go ahead and play with the left hand. That's fun. It's there. And then go on, and then we're just simply in an A minor position. 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2. It's a 4 chord. 1. That's a G chord now. Make sure you lift up for the rest. Second finger here. Measure 18, 1, 2, 3. And beat 3, that's by itself. See, then I'll measure, what, 19? That's just a quarter note on the left hand. Then 4 finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh, what is this rhythm? All right, slowly. Measure 21. 1, 2, 3, beat 3, that's by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, beat 3, that comes out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. If you're having problems with it, take out the tie. So like so. And then when you can get that, just put in the tie. It's hold on to it. So you work out this part. It shouldn't be that hard. Let's go down to measure 33. You're here. This is like an E major scale until you get to here. And it goes chromatic. You can use second finger on the if you want, or here instead of third, go 4. Then just play it 4, 3, 2, 1. Works for me, so that's what I would try. So measure 33. get the same thing at the bottom of page 20 something, 28. Yeah, it's measure 49. I use 4 here. And that last note is an A in the right and left hand. 3 ledger lines below the staff, you need to know that it's an A. That's sort of the hands and the fingering. I didn't really change much of anything. The fingering is fine most of the ways through. And as far as the articulation goes, connect everything as best you can. There's a few accents in places. Stick in the accents. The syncopated notes, you can accent those, even though sometimes they're telling you to. Look on measure 22. It's here. They're accented that. It's a syncopated note. Well, you'd typically accent syncopated notes anyway. So even if they didn't give you an accent there, I'd still suggest accent the note. You get the same thing at the bottom on page 30, or on measure 35 here. Accent the B. It's syncopated. You're playing it sooner than you expect it to. It throws it off, so accent it. Dynamics goes to the melody. Now that at the beginning there's no melody, it's all the same, it's all loud. And then it's the right hand that's loud. The chords are in the background. You're staying pretty much loud. You can get a little louder and softer as you feel it, until you get over to measure, 28. Come down a little bit. You're kind of in the background. Left hand's very soft. 33, you're going to crescendo back up to loud at the end of the line. Stay moderately soft. Up to just a hair loud, moderately loud. Now you're loud. So take your time getting loud. I did like a measure at a time or so. Or you get loud too. So you'll be loud by measure 34, and that's too soon. And you're loud pretty much all the way through. Now at the bottom of page 28, those last 2 notes have accents. That makes them very loud. Collapse the wrist on this. Don't play with a stiff wrist. Don't tense up. Collapse the wrist on both of them. Just boom, boom. Yeah. You don't have to collapse it a lot, but collapse it. Don't leave it stiff. Now as for the speed, this is where things get interesting. Stormy. Okay, this is going to be a storm. This is not going to be a love song type thing. This is a storm, I guess. Maybe it is a love song for all I know. However fast you think stormy would be, that would be it. It's going to be fairly quick. However, if you look above measure 5, you see the word freely. Well, that just opens up a whole can of worms right there. That is one of the most dangerous things you can put in music. Freely. That's the same as saying do whatever you want. And that's really, really, really dangerous to someone who is not musically educated, who is just whatever. Now, I'm not saying you're not musically educated. I'm just saying we could use a little more instruction than that. It has to be freely in a musical style. What they're really after here, it's more like a recitative in an opera or somewhere where you're talking, but you're singing you're talking. So it's you're just thinking, at first I was afraid, I was petrified, you're just, and you can give and take on this because the left hand all it has is chords. And that's good because there really is, the rhythm is whatever you want it to be. And lots of rubato, I can do. I can go fast and slow and linger on a particular note, which would be a word, assuming I'm singing it, you know. I'm petrified. And this is where the musically part comes in, because there's some things you got to keep it in a musical style. Generally speaking, in a recitative, the rhythm, you sing it, isn't the rhythm written in the music. It's the rhythm of how you would talk. If you were going to say, at first, I was afraid, I was petrified, then that's the rhythm that you'd play while singing it. To keep thinking I could never live Without You by My Side. I guess it is a love song, isn't it? The point is, you can give and take in this rhythm based on the rhythm of the words if you were going to say it. Just don't get too carried away. We need it to flow. And the left hand just plays the chords and stays up with whatever the right hand is doing. Then when you get to measure 21, it says in tempo. Now the freely goes away. We're back to stormy again, and this is fairly quick. It's actually almost felt in 2. Bottom. It moves. But this freely part, whatever. Now as far as the play with me goes, I got to stay with the metronome, so there ain't going to be no freely going on. We're going to stay at the same tempo throughout the whole thing, and that's slow. Now for the pedaling, they're not giving a lot of pedaling. The only pedaling they're really giving is at the beginning. Because we have 8 notes, you're going to have to pretty much push the pedal down with the note. There isn't time to lag it here, but on measure 4, right after I play the half note, I'm going to lift the pedal up. I don't want the pedal staying down with the half note. I got to get rid of it. So it's here. Right there. And that's all they're showing for pedal. However, I would like to do a little more with it. Starting measure 5 on these notes. I would like to connect those repeated notes. Now we can't do that on a piano without the pedal. So I'm going to pedal repeated notes throughout this thing most of the time. Now sometimes it makes sense to have some silence between them, but for the most part I'm going to pedal these. So measure 4, right after I play the notes, I'm going to pedal it. And we'll lift it up as I play the B. And I'm going to pedal the 2 A's in the next measure. I want to connect them. So right after I play the 8th note A, I push the pedal down. And then I'm going to lift it up with the right hand so there's a rest, and then push it down again for these A's in measure 8. And then lift it up for measure 9. Until I play the G, I'm going to pedal the G's. And then lift it up with the pedal. All I'm doing is connecting the repeated notes. I don't want to pedal anything else because it'll smear it. And it will. So that's not the atmosphere of this piece. It's not it's gentle. It's nice. I'm going to do that throughout page 26. Now, page 27, starting with measure 18, again I'm going to pedal the E's. Change it at the bar line here. And here I'm going to lift the pedal up on the 3rd G. The quarter note in the left hand sounds like more than a quarter note, but I would rather connect the notes than listen to the rest in the left hand. So I'm going to pedal on measure 19, pedal the G's. Now I'm going to leave it up because now we're changing style. And this sort of leads into it. More of a bouncy style. So I don't want to pedal those. So I'm not pedaling from measure 21 on. I'm not pedaling that at all. Now you have a page turn in this, and you have to be able to turn this page without messing up the beat. Fortunately, at the bottom of page 27, the left hand isn't doing much, if anything, for almost 2 measures. So during that time, you can turn the page. By the time you get to the last measure on page 27, you should have the page turned, because you can memorize that measure real quick, and then you're ready to go on to page 28. Is how I just, real quick. Ideally, you memorize the piece, but otherwise, you get that or you get somebody to turn the page for you. mention over on page 28, in the middle of the page, you do come back down to moderately soft. I missed that earlier, but you do that. But you can read the dynamics and do what they say. I'd like to play this with you very slowly. Now we're going to take the whole thing at one speed, simple, slow speed. Not going to do any dynamics. We will do the repeat, but when we get to the bottom of page 27, after the repeat, after we've done it, I'm going to stop, turn the page, and I'll give us another 4 counts, and then we'll do page 28 again. So I'll give us 4 counts to start this. 1 and 2 and ready and go and. 1, 2, hold 2, rest. 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2, 4, 1. 2, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3. 3, 1. 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2. Turn the page. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.